Hello, my fellow chairs. So you guys may or may not have seen, but this past week I was on the Formable tournament hosted by Lathe and Red Hawk, in which the second challenge where I ended up winning and advancing into the finals was where we had to play here in Central Africa, specifically in the region known as the Great Lakes region. In that campaign, I played as Buha. Now, I had never actually played in this area before. In most cases, I've played pretty much everywhere in all of EU4. Aside from here, I've only played France like for the first 10 years. I've literally never touched France at all. And I've never played as like any of these migratory tribes over here. So outside of that, those are the only two regions I've never even touched before. There was this nation I was able to form called Katara. Now Katara actually has some pretty cool, unique ideas, and I had never even knew this nation really existed until I saw that in the Formables, and I saw that I could actually get frontiers that could actually colonize a good amount of the land around me over here. So I actually had access to expand into the Congo, into East Africa. And honestly, it was a good, fun time. So today we are going to be doing a similar challenge as to what I did on Parabellum. I'm not going to be doing this within an hour. However, what I had to do in Parabellum was culture convert everything over here and own as many provinces outside of the Great Lakes culture as possible. Today, we are actually going to do the reverse thing, utilizing Katara's culture conversion cost, and we are going to culture convert everything within the Congo, East Africa regions, as well as all of Central Africa. And if I have time, maybe we'll expand into South Africa and the Horn of Africa. So here we are as Buganda. We got our 5k troops. We're going to delete this horse. Too expensive. Don't need that. In terms of a mission tree, we do have a bit of a mission tree. It's really not that good of a mission tree, to be quite honest with you. But, you know, this one right here, we just need a mill advisor, 100% force limit. We get a bunch of permanent claims on these two guys right here. So if I do that right away, guess what? Those are going to be the two nations we attack right away. From there, we're also going to invade Bunyaro. So we're going to build a spy network there and also on Karagwe. And most of these nations are going to ally somebody down here in the Congo areas, and that's okay. We're going to primarily focus on everything here. You may be thinking to yourself, Chairman, it not only sucks to be playing in an isolated area over here, but you're behind in technology and you don't even have feudalism like most African nations. There's an easy solution to this. Kilwa doesn't know your capital is over here, so you are actually an unknown nation to Kilwa. However, you could ask them for knowledge sharing, which is very, very easy to do. You could either scornfully insult Mutapa, or just simply improve relations with Kilwa, ask for knowledge sharing, boom, you're the first nation over here to have feudalism. And because we are a one province minor at the start here, it's actually worth it to hand out all the monarch privileges. We don't get any of these penalties really affecting us other than the taxation one, because we are only one province big. Plus, when we expand and literally double our size to 2 provinces, all of a sudden we're going to have like 5 or even 8% crownlands. Once we take over Encore, guess what? Even more crownlands. So it's very easy to get your crownlands back up. So I did hire both the Free Company and the Great Lakes Free Warriors. They come with a general already. This is going to give us a huge advantage to go ahead and invade Busoga immediately, win that battle. And now I'm going to go ahead and leave my Free Company here to go ahead and siege all that stuff. Meanwhile, I'm going to move this army here and we're going to attack Encore over here. With our first war done, boom. We now have an additional province, and we should, at the tick of the month, yep, 8% crownlands. So there we go, already getting our crownlands back. Another nice thing about expanding into these two guys right away is they're actually part of our state, so we can lower the autonomy. Yeah, we'll get more rebels, but we get more money, more manpower, and more force limit. I'm going to go ahead and invade Rwanda. They have no allies. Should be a little bit closer just because we do have similar sized armies. I did delete my Free Company, really expensive, but should be able to, oh, I mean, they're retreating, so that's a good sign. Here's that really close battle. It will be hills, so I do get penalized, but I have the better general, and it was an easy battle. And now we could go ahead and full annex Rwanda. Nobody cares about AE over here because, well, we're so isolated, so it doesn't even matter. Another day, another war, this time against Bunyaro. They're allied to Kazambe down here, but Kazambe can't reach us, quite simply because there's this wasteland or colonizable territory, and really they don't have any interest to do that. Finally, Kilwa is done knowledge sharing with Sofala, so we could go ahead and do that. I'm not going to get any mill tech until I get feudalism. It's going to be so much cheaper, and we'll be able to catch up really, really fast. We'll also be like one of the first nations to actually get to like mill tech 5 if we play our cards right as well. I'm also a little bit crazy, so we're going to go ahead and start another war, this time against Karagwe. Again, Moravi's down here, they won't be able to come up here. Finally, Bunyoro just surrendered to me. Their ally couldn't even reach down here or reach up here, so that's done, that's over with. We're now going to begin another war, this time against Baja, and their ally Makua is actually being invaded by Kilwa, so this will be even faster for me. With both of those wars knocked out of the way, we are literally just down to Burundi here. Once we full annex them, core them up, we could then become Katara. From there, I'm going to take about 5 years to just simply stabilize my country, because we do have a lot of unrest. Also get our economy going a little bit better, and just simply get all of our manpower, because we are going to go ham on everybody here in the Congo as fast as possible. Basically build up our base over here and start expanding into East Africa, because realistically Kilwa is the main threat here, being all the way up at Miltech 4 since they start out with feudalism. I also ended up allying Mutapa, which could be a death sentence potentially. We will soon find out about that, but does allow me to complete this, get stability, prestige, legitimacy. Finally, feudalism has appeared in Buganda, so we're going to go ahead and embrace that, get our tech. Look at that, we're already at Miltech 4, we just jumped up by 2. All of a sudden, we're on par with Kilwa. And I'm going to go ahead and invade Burundi right away, because there are 2 Miltechs behind us all of a sudden. And like that, we finally have united our entire little Great Lakes region. So all I have to do now is just simply wait for this one province to become a core, and we can become Katara within the first like 14-15 years of the game. And I also went ahead and stated up everything over here, so we are actually making 2 ducats right now. I know, big money. We're going to go ahead and lower the autonomy and everything. We can make even more money. And all of a sudden our force limit went from being like 7 guys to 16. So we've literally doubled our size. And in terms of providential count, yeah, we've multiplied by so much. Now with that being cored up, we could go ahead and form Katara. There we go. Yes, please. New traditions, ambitions. And as I mentioned, you see, we've grown by a few provinces. In fact, we grew by at least 5 provinces. So all of these are of our culture. They're all Ganda culture. And they are a frontier that starts out with at least 400 settlers. So that allows us to expand into all the neighboring regions even faster than before. I'm going to go ahead and start fabricating a claim on Luba. And we're also going to start fabricating a claim on Kazambe, so we can start expanding into the Congo and wipe out Congo before they get to be too strong. In terms of government here, yeah, we're just a tribal monarchy, not really anything unique here, but we are going to be going with martial society for a little bit more manpower. And now that I have Miltech 5, I'm completely on par with Kilwa in terms of Miltech. However, that does put me like 3 or even 2 Miltechs ahead of everybody except for the Congo over here. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we're just going to go ham on all these guys. We're just going to conquer as much of them as possible. Probably end up vassalizing 1 or 2 of these guys just to use them, and then expand out this way. Okay, so in this peace deal, I'm going to go ahead and vassalize both Kuba and Lunda. I'm also, before I even do that, actually going to start another war, this time against Kazambe over here. I'll go ahead and insult them, because otherwise I was going to lose stab for them liking me a little bit too much. While I was in this war with Kazambe, I started another war against Kasanje over here. But yeah, we could go ahead full annex them. I full annexed their allies, gave them to my subjects. And now we're pretty much just down to this guy and the Congo. So I'm actually going to full annex this, give that to my subject Lunda. And I'm probably going to release out Ndongo and just feed them most of the Congo. I love how that rhymed. Alright, now I am 1 whole Miltech ahead of the Congo. They have no manpower. I'm low on manpower, but I can probably hire a mercenary company like the Grand Company to help me out, and this should be pretty easy. First battle against the Congo, they did outnumber me at the start of this by like 2 guys, but with excellent Miltech, yeah, we were able to actually just completely just annihilate them, so not even a problem. Alright, and I'm thinking we're going to do something like this. pretty much completely encircle Congo. None of this is actually going to me. This is all going to my subjects. And once my truce is up, we'll just full annex them and give them the rest to Ndongo. Let's go ahead and release out Ndongo right here. And we're just going to give them literally everything. It's no longer the Congo, it's now Ndongo. And before this truce with Kilwa is over between Timbuktu and them, I'm just going to go ahead and invade them super fast. Don't want to waste any time and lose any more land to Kilwa at all. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and attack the big fish, which is Mutapa. Their ally Pate would actually not join them. Yeah, so let's go ahead and call him Mutapa, and this should be relatively easy. Tier 3 government reform, we're going to go with religious society, because we are about to expand into a lot of Sunni land over here, so yeah, we're going to need that religious stability. First battle against the Kilwa troops, and oh my god, we just... It's just an absolute just massacre of their guys. Okay. Yeah, this war's easy. This war's easy. Even though they're only one mil tech behind us, it's really easy. And actually their troops just retreated to Mombasa. I just stack wiped their entire 13k guys. So now they're just down to 3k guys. Oh man. I was scared of Kilwa for what? This isn't bad at all. Okay, so with 93% war score here, I'm thinking we are going to go ahead and vassalize these guys. Malindi, we can. I don't know why they're refusing. Well, probably just a couple more ticks in a month, and it should be fine. As for my peace with Kilwa, this is probably what's going to look like. I'm going to give 2 provinces to Mutapa. After this war, I'm going to break my alliance with Mutapa. We're going to start looking at them next. And yeah, pretty much Kilwa's about done. And it's not even 1500 just yet. It's only 1480, and we're already like own all of the Congo, already own almost all of East Africa, and we're about to get into South Africa as well. Actually decided against giving Mutapa anything here. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and take everything here for myself. I'm gonna take this and give this to my boy Malindi, who I just vassalized, and only countries that would care would literally be Congo, Kilwa, and Antamoro, the only nations that really see me. And that's a big Katara all of a sudden. I'm also going to go ahead and begin my annexation of both Lunda and Kuba over here. They've pretty much served their purpose at this point. Don't really need them. With my very first idea group, realistically, I mean, I get infantry combat ability at the end of my ideas. Also, 2 expansion ideas would be fantastic as well. Start colonizing all this stuff, getting even better power base over here. Yeah, screw it. We'll just do expansion ideas. Even though I'm like 2 techs behind in both Admin, Diplo, and Mill is what I'm ahead in, I want to start filling in all this stuff. And like, also expansion ideas is very good with all the trade stuff, extra diplomat to colonists as well too. It should work out. Our truce with Mutapa is over, so yeah, we're just gonna go ahead full annex these guys. Bye bye Mutapa. Thanks for being an ally for a little bit there. Also, I'm gonna get my first colonist. We're just gonna simply do the coexistence policy. I don't have the time nor energy nor resources to just sit there and colonize everything with my troops, so we're gonna just do this peacefully as possible. Would you look at that? A doll actually doesn't mind me. Well, actually they don't even know I exist, but they have the Renaissance, so yeah, they're gonna give it to me. We just went ahead and full annex all of Mutapa, which now means I have access to 3 gold mines, and that's going to jumpstart our economy even faster. Not like our economy was struggling really to begin with, but man, it's 3 gold mines that's going to help out a lot. And now we're going to go ahead and finish off the Congo. As you guys can see, I just full annexed my boy Luba over here, so yeah, it's almost done with Kuba. But we're going to go ahead full annex Congo, give that all to Ndongo. And now all of a sudden, I'm one of the world's greatest powers, probably number 8 with 466 development. Realistically, with Renaissance, I'd be number 5. But if Muscovy had Renaissance, yeah, I'd be like number 6. Let's go ahead and start stating up a lot of this stuff. As you guys can see, most of this is all territories. I got to change all that. We got to core everything up, especially these gold mines. All right, our truce with Kilwa is actually over. I see that they're at war with their former ally Antamoro over here. We're gonna go ahead and invade them. I should be able to full annex them here. Yep. And I might actually be able to get a foothold here in Madagascar. That would be fantastic. I'm thinking we're gonna take something like this. I think Antamoro could probably finish off Kilwa. I just want to start building up boats so I can start advancing over to here anyways. It's not too much of a strain on I mean, in terms of admin power anyway, so it should be okay. While I'm at it, let's go ahead and start annexing my boy Ndongo over here, and we should start being able to finish colonizing over here in the Congo. Oh, would you look at that? Kilwa actually just won their war against Antamoro. Oh, okay. Second idea group time. I'm just going to go ahead and choose quality ideas to shore up our infantry combat ability that we get a little bit later on. I think it's time we go ahead and finish off Kilwa, and this way we own all of Madagascar, and we pretty much own the entire area and region of East Africa. Of course, at some point we will have to go to war with Adal over here, but we'll probably do that a little bit later, especially before they form Somalia, because they're so close to forming that. I'll launch a quick little war here against Pate over here. They're starting to, you know, it's going to drag me in a war against Ethiopia. I don't really mind, though Ethiopia does have almost 40,000 troops. I just want this one province over here, so that's all we're taking. I mean, so far the Ethiopians, they marched 2 separate armies of about 15k each. I just wiped both of them. So I'd imagine just maybe Adal over here. Oh, well, actually, never mind. The Ottomans are invading the Mamluks, so that's probably not going to happen. Also, look at that. Oman's actually like doing well, Rasid's doing well, and we also have a Persia, which I'm assuming is a Jam, because it always seems to be a Jam that forms them. Would you look at that? Portugal would actually give us some knowledge sharing for 5 ducats a month. Don't mind if I do, so I don't have to spawn colonialism in my country. On my attempt to actually ally the Portuguese here, I'm going to scornfully insult Morocco. However, Morocco doesn't even know who I am, so they're literally just gonna be like, who is this? Why are you saying these things about me? So close to being able to ally Portugal, though. Honestly, even if I just keep them above 100, I'm okay with that. Third idea group time. I mean, honestly, you know, something like exploration would be fantastic. However, I really don't see a need for it. You could also kind of make an argument for trade ideas, because a lot of our trade does go through Congo, Zambezi, Zanzibar, and of course Cape of Good Hope, which is a fantastic trade node all in its own right. However, I feel like almost taking like court ideas would actually be pretty decent here. Honestly, I'm thinking for our third idea group here, we're just going to go with court ideas. That's right. Idea group that not too many people really take, but it is actually pretty decent, especially when you're playing outside of Europe. Alright, so I see the nation of Adal is currently at war with Warsangali and Aden over here, so we're going to also push our claims. I'm going to take some land, and we're going to release out Ajuran, and we're going to make them a subject that basically conquers most of this land over here. Okay, so this war is actually pretty rough, just because Adal has just superior troops, I guess, plus they're 1 mil tech ahead of me. Their defensive ideas, their ideas in general are just very, very good. So because of that, I'm actually struggling in this war quite a bit. I finally just ran out of manpower here. Finally, with the aid of the Great Lakes Warrior Company, I've completely whittled down Adal, so there are only 6k guys, no manpower, and oh man, now I pretty much have free reign to just siege down their entire country, which is perfect because I'm starting to get a ton of rebels throughout the rest of my country. Alright, so our peace deal with Adal is going to look a little something like this. I'm going to pretty much cut them in half. Ethiopia is at war with them now as well. We're going to release out Ogaden, and I'm just going to keep like 1 province for myself over here, or I'm at least going to give Malindi 2 provinces, and this is all just going to go to my boy Ogaden. Fourth idea group time, we're just going to go ahead and pick up innovative ideas. For one, keep us up to date in terms of tech. We are entering into the 1600s very, very soon. So this is where tech does get to be kind of an issue, especially if you're outside of that area. And also it allows us to stack up the infantry combat ability, which we're already at 20%. All right, so we've reached this point where I've completed all my ideas. I'm actually a little bit ahead in terms of Diplo. But yeah, we're going to start making use of that culture conversion cost, and we're going to make everything into Ganda. So far, the culture conversions are going very, very well here. And I'm going to just show you guys how cheap this is. I didn't take anything else that's going to give me cheaper culture conversion cost. The Kalanga here, so this is a 10 development province. It's actually only going to cost us about 40 Diplo to culture convert it, which really isn't that bad considering that we do get that 25%. Obviously, if you get another 25%, that would make it about 20. So it makes things really easy for like a 1 faith, 1 culture world conquest kind of run. If you decide to play as Katara, which
actually does seem pretty viable. Also, why do you want to culture convert things, or at the very least accept different types of cultures in EU4? For example, if we mouse over to Shona culture here, we actually get additional unrest, less tax, less missionary strength, less manpower, and less sailors in this area. And I'm pretty sure it even affects production too. So in like our gold mines, it's actually more beneficial to either accept the Shona culture or to go ahead and culture convert it. That's a little awkward. I didn't expect Portugal to invade me. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could do this. They did call in Ethiopia, and that's probably going to be where most of my war score comes from, but still, it's... Alright, so this was actually a relatively easy war. As you guys could see, they actually pushed very far into my lands. A lot of it had to do with the fact I don't really have forts in my country. Plus, they had 1,000,001 little 1 or 2 stacks. I was able to take out Ethiopia really fast. And then once I actually got into fighting Portugal's armies, they were honestly pretty weak. I credit a lot of that towards having defensive ideas, innovative ideas completed, and 35 infantry combat ability. So as you guys can see, we can actually win this by almost 30%. We're going to take as much money as possible. You know, the Ottomans are pretty much done for when even Ethiopia is invading the Ottomans now. I'm going to go ahead and launch a war against the Ethiopians. I'm going to do imperialism. So all we have to do is just take their capital, and we should be able to take a good large portion of land, especially because my absolutism isn't super high, but it, you know, it's up in the mid 70s. And now we're at war with Morocco. Okay. Oh man, Morocco has 230,000. Why do you have that many guys, Morocco? You want to start expanding into my Congo stuff. This may actually be a problem here. Alright, so I'm going to finish up this Ethiopia war, and then we can focus on Morocco. In the meantime, I may be able to build like one more fort like over here. One thing I will say that's very nice is because I picked up defensive ideas, put on a couple defensive edicts on these things. Yeah. Oh, and plus the terrain over here kind of sucks to march through. Yeah, Morocco's completely out of manpower and at 174,000 troops, which is much more manageable. I could have 133,000. I'm currently at 135 because my mercenary army over here, but yeah, I should be okay. So I was able to get out of that Ethiopia war, white peace. That's okay. We'll come back in a few years. Meanwhile, Morocco, they're just losing even more and more guys, just sieging my forts. Plus, I had some rebels, and they decided to kill them for me. So, yeah. And I built a 1-stack whose sole purpose is literally just to get the war goal over here. And because I took this one fort over here, I actually trapped the entire Moroccan army over here. So now they're down to 80,000 guys, no manpower. And all of a sudden, it's looking like we're actually about to destroy Morocco. Oh, would you look at that? So Aragon finally formed Spain, and they're invading Tripoli over here, which then dragged in Morocco. So now they're about to get completely destroyed by Aragon, who's actually friendly to me, and I can ally them. Also, Ottomans are completely done for over here. We got Greece, Bulgaria, Serbia, Albania, Naples even got in here. Akkoyolu's doing great. Persia's doing great. Ethiopia's doing fine over here. And yeah, Ottomans are completely just done. So out of this war with Morocco, I'll be able to release out Songhai, Oyo, and Ome. There's actually a good amount of development that's just been freed up out of these guys now.
Okay, so I noticed that Senor Portugal over here, Mr. Portugal over here is being invaded by revolutionary Spain. They're still allied to Ethiopia, so I'm going to go ahead, take advantage, and invade Ethiopia. And now even Persia is invading Ethiopia. What do they want? Pretty much everything over here. So yeah, at some point we're probably going to be at war with Persia, who is allied to Commonwealth, which I really don't want to fight Commonwealth. Commonwealth is absurdly strong right now. Okay, so Persia finally finished up their war. Ethiopia unconditionally surrendered to me. However, because of Persia and all that stuff, like they only got 30% war score, which works out in my favor very much. Also, revolutionary Spain is starting to expand into Egypt. So yeah, I do not like that. I'm thinking in our war with Ethiopia, we're going to do something like this. I'm kind of having second doubts about expanding up here into Egypt because that's getting into a big mess I do not want to be involved into with revolutionary Spain, Persia, Naples, all that stuff. So instead, we're going to do something like this, basically cutting Persia completely out of the equation for Ethiopia. And I would be taking more, but my ally Yao over here is actually getting in the way. So there we go. That's actually a big chunk of land that we just took. Will it put us up over the edge on Britain? Probably not, but hey, I'll take it. And then we're going to be looking at Nubia in a few here. As soon as Naples gets rid of that guarantee, we are invading on Nubia. Okay, so I just full annexed Nubia. I'm actually going to re-release them back out. And I'm thinking I'm going to, you know, basically keep all of this stuff over here, like Asa, Shewa, Hadia, over here by me. Meanwhile, I'm going to feed the rest of this over to my boy Nubia. And because I've completed all of these and we really don't have much time left in the game, I'm just going to start my golden era now. We are playing to get the Victoria 3 achievement. Where is it? Victorian 3. As Busoga, Buganda, or Karagwe reach Admin, Diplo, and Miltech 32. We did start out as Buganda, so it should work. I don't see why it wouldn't, but you never know. The game's kind of weird sometimes. So as a result of Portugal getting absolutely wrecked, we have Brazil, Peru, and Chile all as individual nations. So if you guys are not familiar with any of these colonial nations, like you never really get to see them when they're independent, Brazil has some really good ideas. And I'm just going to point this out just because it's in our game. Brazil gets attrition for enemies, envoy travel time, tax, institution spread, inflation reduction, infantry combat ability, core creation cost, stab cost, legitimacy, and 10% goods produced. My boy France decided to relive the whole French invasion of Mexico thing. So yeah, we're invading Mexico, who has, in my opinion, the best ideas in the new world. Mexico gets inflation, global settler increase, construction costs, promoted culture, separatism ideas, production efficiency, land leader shock, morale of armies, and manpower recovery speed. They did alter these ideas. They used to have infantry combat ability in there, and I remember that for a fact. And apparently French Louisiana got the same idea of fighting for its independence. I don't know if I want to do this. I really don't know if I want to do this, France. I'm really not in the mood to fight Portugal right now. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. I'm sorry, France, but screw you. You abandoned me in my defensive war. I'm going to abandon you in this one. Also, I just noticed this massive Transoceania. That's huge, man. I've never seen them be this big before. Whoa, whoa. They're literally all of Russia. What is this? All right, in our Ethiopian war here, I'm going to pretty much take everything like this. Most of this is actually going to go to my subject Nubia. I'm only going to take whatever's left down here in Ethiopia, like core starting game Ethiopia. The rest of this is going to Nubia as we just continue to expand up into the Nile and hopefully continue to expand before the Spanish get over here. Because yeah, Ethiopia is pretty much migrated into Egypt and to the Levant region. Who knows, maybe even Persia is going to get in here now. So we'll see. All right, and we are going to go ahead and invade the Mamluks. This will plunge me into a war against Yao, who is currently my ally. However, I think it's kind of time we get rid of Yao. And we feed them all to my boy Nubia. All right, so there's separate negotiating on a peace with Yao. I was not able to full annex them. However, with the Mamluks, I can. Weird how that works. But again, that's all going to my boy Nubia. So I'm not having to worry about coring any of this. And the purple machine, purple monster over here is growing very nicely. Luckily, they don't really want the rest of Egypt over here. So yeah, that's all going to go to Nubia. And that's probably going to be the extent of our expansion into Egypt. So bogus. So I just declared war on Ethiopia. And then literally the separatists and the Mamluks just broke them. So yeah, we're doing double imperialism war. I could get both Ethiopia and the Mamluks annexed. That's ridiculous. I'm currently invading Katambornu, and I was looking to see what's going on with Morocco over here. Well, Cuba apparently wants some of Morocco over here, so they launched an imperialist war against Morocco, along with Scotland, which I don't know where Scotland is. They're around here somewhere, so I'm also just going to quickly start an additional war, this time against Morocco while I'm in this one. I'm literally just trying to fill in this empty wasteland right here with just yellow for my thumbnail. It's the only reason why I'm invading this area over here right now. I mean, obviously, I just annexed Katambornu. That literally just gave me the land I needed in order to fill in like that giant wasteland there. So yeah, our name's just freaking huge now. So all I have to do now
is just completely culture convert everything, at least over here. If I get stuff culture converted here, that'd be wonderful, but pretty much I want at least everything culture converted here. And then we just have to wait until we get all the technologies to 32. I don't know what's going on here, but revolutionary Spain just launched a annexation war on revolutionary France. I haven't seen an annexation war in EU4 since like version 1, when the Ottomans would get an annexation war on the Mamluks. So I really have no idea what is going on here. Okay, so it looks like Spain did not full annex France. However, they seized like a decent amount of colonies, all that stuff. Hey, look at that. My home state's actually a country now. But yeah, it looks like they just primarily just seized a bunch of land, colonial wise, from the French. I would have loved to have seen if they actually would have full annexed France. And finally, I could get my last technology in 1811. Give it a month. There's the achievement sound. Game is taking way too long to autosave now. And if we scroll all the way to the bottom, we get Victorian 3, as Busoga, Buganda, or Karagwe reach admin, Diplo, and Miltech level 32. So that took me all the way up to 1811. That's the earliest that you could do it, because I had everything maxed out at 999 points. Now, if we look at our culture map mode, as you guys can see, everything's pretty much Ganda. In terms of culture, other than like these couple provinces remaining here and whatever's here. So we did set out and complete our entire goal, which is to culture convert everything in the East Africa, Central Africa, Congo, South Africa, and Horn of Africa, along with some additional stuff in Egypt and the Sahel regions, along with also getting that achievement, of course. And that's where we're going to go ahead and call it for today. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and if you have any other achievements or ideas or nations that you want to see me play, please let me know in the comment section down below. I will see you guys in the next one. Chairman out.